3 in the morning. I'm loading boxes into a rented U-Haul, and the only thing I'm actually worried about is the coffee machine. Breville Barista Express, 97 bucks, eBay, 3 years ago. I fought some guy from Nebraska for it all the way down to the last 10 seconds of the auction. That one, I carry in my hands. Everything else goes in boxes. Chloe is asleep upstairs. In my pocket, I've got a signed lease for an apartment in Portland. My phone shows the last text from my attorney. Everything is ready. Good luck, Charles. 6 years of marriage ends like this. No door slamming, no screaming, no dishes flying across the kitchen. I had been planning this for 4 months, and right up until the very last second, she still thought I wasn't going anywhere. All right, let me start from the beginning. I'm 34. I'm an IT engineer working remotely for a company out of Seattle. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio. My dad was an electrician.
My mom was a nurse at a clinic on Broadway Street, the kind of place where the hallway always smelled like microwave popcorn and disinfectant. We didn't exactly have trust funds lying around. I met Chloe in Austin at a party Kevin dragged me to. Kevin went there because of somebody's sister. He never found the sister. I found Chloe Whitfield. Her father, Richard, owned a chain of car dealerships all over Texas. Her mother, Patricia, had once won a beauty pageant in Houston. At 54, Patricia went in for Botox with the same consistency normal people go grocery shopping. Chloe was beautiful, loud, confident to a level that should honestly be considered a federal offense. I was quiet, with a dry sense of humor. She decided I was quirky. I decided she was fun. We were both 28. At 28, your brain has a very selective work schedule. There were red flags. Before the wedding, Chloe threw a fit at a restaurant because they seated us near the kitchen. I called it passion. In front of my friends, she poked my shirt with one finger and asked if I had pulled it out of a Goodwill bin. Everybody laughed. I laughed too. Like it was a joke. The first time I met Patricia, she asked me what my salary ceiling was. Richard shook my hand, then didn't say another word to me for the rest of the night. I'm pretty sure he was doing mental math, trying to figure out how much it would cost to get rid of me. And honestly, he probably was. The Whitfields paid for the wedding. All of it. Richard wrote the check and said, "I hope this is an investment, not a write-off." I smiled. I thought it was a toast. It was a sentence. For 5 years, I lived by one simple formula. Chloe wants something, Charles does it. Or Chloe gets upset, Chloe calls her mom calls me, and I apologize for something I don't even understand. Chloe didn't work. She had an art history degree from UT Austin. 6 months at a gallery was boring. 3 months as an event coordinator was too stressful. Her parents sent her $3,000 a month to her card, like a salary, for the hard work of being Chloe. At a neighbor's barbecue, she said, "Charles, tell everyone how much you make doing your little computer thing. Actually, don't. We don't want people getting depressed." The neighbor coughed into his burger. I smiled. Good sport. Great sport. Best damn sport in the whole neighborhood. She forgot my birthday. Remembered at 9 at night. Ordered pizza. Domino's. You're not one of those guys who gets all dramatic about birthdays, right? The pizza had pineapple on it. I hate pineapple on pizza. In 5 years, she never learned that. I got promoted. $115,000 a year. I came home with a bottle of wine. Chloe said, 115? Dad spends that in a week on advertising. I opened the wine and drank it by myself. For 5 years straight, we spent Thanksgiving with the Whitfields. My mom got a FaceTime call somewhere between apple pie and the third quarter of the Cowboys game. Then one night, Chloe came home from girls' night, tipsy. I was sitting at my laptop. She started in the second she walked through the door. Her friend Megan had divorced Tyler, and 1 month later was already dating a guy who owned a business. I reminded her that we had gone to Hawaii the year before. Maui, Charles, a 3-star hotel. My parents stayed at the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons! I said we should talk in the morning. She said, "You're replaceable, Charles. Do you understand that? You are replaceable." I closed my laptop, said goodnight, went to the guest room. I didn't sleep. I just lay there and thought. Not from pain. By then, the pain had hardened. It had turned into background noise, as familiar as office air conditioning. No. I thought like an engineer. Problem identified, solution required. At 3 in the morning, I opened my phone and Googled divorce attorney Austin, Texas, free consultation. Then I put the phone down, and I slept until my alarm. That hadn't happened in over a year. Mark Silverstein, attorney, office on 6th Street, between a tattoo shop and a dive bar. About 50 years old, bald, $200 tie on a $30 shirt. I liked him immediately. Texas is a community property state. Everything earned during the marriage gets split 50-50. Chloe's money from her parents counted as gifts, so it wasn't part of the division. The house had a mortgage, co-signed by Richard. Mark said, "Leave her the house. Don't touch her accounts. Take your own stuff and walk. If you start a war, Daddy's going to hire somebody from Vincent and Elkins, and you'll spend the next 2 years paying lawyers instead of living your life." So I found a job in Portland, senior developer, $125,000 a year. I signed a lease on a studio in the Pearl District, $1,400 a month. The deposit came from a separate savings account. For 4 months, I lived a double life. I smiled. I went to dinners with the Whitfields. I said, "Yes, honey." I shipped things to my mom in Ohio. Books, documents, my winter jacket. Mom knew. "Finally, honey." That was her entire comment. One time, I almost got caught. Chloe looked into the garage and said, "Where did half the boxes go?" I said, "Dropped old junk off at Goodwill." She said, "Thank God. Half that stuff looked like it was from another century." Then she went back to scrolling Instagram. Saturday. Chloe left for a bachelorette party in Dallas. She'd be back Sunday night. I hired movers. 2 guys. Cash. 3 hours. No furniture. Just my stuff. Computer, clothes, guitar, boxes. The coffee machine, I carried myself. On the kitchen table, I left an envelope. Inside was a copy of the petition for divorce and a note. "Chloe, I left. My attorney will contact yours. I won't fight you for the house. I don't want your parents' money. I want my life back. Charles." The keys were next to the envelope. I got into my Subaru Outback, the only car in my name. The moving truck pulled out ahead of me. 2 hours to the airport. Morning flight to Portland. As I got close to the terminal, a radio ad came on for Whitfield Auto. "Best deals in Texas." I changed the station. Sunday, 6 in the evening. Chloe opened the door. The furniture was still there. The TV was still there. But something was missing. At first, she didn't understand what. Then she saw the envelope. She called me. Number unavailable. I had changed my number at the airport. She called Patricia. Full meltdown. Patricia handed the phone to Richard. Richard listened and said, "I'll find you an attorney." But I can't say I'm surprised. The next call was Megan, the same divorced friend with the business owner boyfriend. Megan said, "Chloe, you kept telling everyone he was a nobody. Maybe he heard you." Chloe's attorney contacted Mark. Mark sent over the offer. I wasn't claiming the house. I wasn't claiming the joint accounts. I didn't want anything except my own savings and my own belongings. Chloe's attorney called her back and said, "I haven't seen a divorce this clean in a long time. He's being decent." Richard told Mark later, and Mark told me. That evening, Richard poured himself a bourbon. Patricia sat across from him. He said, "The guy was patient. You confused patience with stupidity." Patricia didn't answer. She had bigger problems, like how to explain to her book club where her son-in-law went. 3 months later, the papers were signed. Everything was done. Portland. Studio in the Pearl District. $1,400 a month for a shoebox with a window. After the 3-bedroom Texas house with a lawn Chloe made me mow every Saturday, it felt like heaven. I went to the farmer's market. I bought coffee at a cafe on Burnside. The barista, Jess, remembered my order by the 3rd visit. I started running in the mornings along the Willamette. About 3 plants. 1 died in the 2nd week because I forgot to water it. 2 survived. Not a bad percentage when you think about it. Friends from Austin texted. Some said, "Happy for you, bro." Others said, "Chloe says that you—" I didn't answer those. I thought about texting Kevin, the guy who dragged me to that party in the first place. I wanted to ask him— Actually, never mind. On a Wednesday evening, my phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up. Work habit. Clients sometimes call from random numbers. Patricia Whitfield. She had gotten my new number through Mark Silverstein. After the divorce was finalized, that wasn't illegal. Mark had warned me something like this might happen. "Charles, Chloe is pregnant." Pause. Rain against the window. A jazz station playing on Spotify because I had forgotten to turn it off. "Not yours." She met someone. Brandon. Personal trainer. They were together 2 months. He found out and disappeared. "Patricia, why are you calling me?" "She wants to talk." "No." Silence. Longer than the first time. "I understand. I'm sorry for bothering you." I ended the call. Set the phone on the table. No. Not set it down. Balanced it on its edge against a stack of books. Washed my mug. Sat down at my laptop. I had code to finish before the end of the day. The client was waiting in the morning. I changed Spotify. Fleetwood Mac. Go Your Own Way. A personal trainer. Seriously? Chloe Whitfield, daughter of a Texas car dealership king, and a personal trainer named Brandon? If somebody in Hollywood brought me that script, I'd say 2 on the nose. Rewrite it. Brandon, then. The replacement. Well, Chloe promised. Chloe delivered. The rain kept falling. The code kept writing itself. And the 2 plants on the windowsill were still alive.
Guys, look, Charles is a quiet, hardworking guy, and he put up with this for 6 years. 6 years. That's not 6 days. His wife humiliates him in front of everyone. His mother-in-law judges his salary like she's appraising cattle at a fair, and his father-in-law just shook his hand and forgot he even exists. So what did he do? What did he do? He didn't start yelling. He sat down, thought it over, and just left. That's the manly thing to do. I won't argue. It's manly. He left her the house, didn't even ask for any money, just wrote a note, and that was it. Just like that. The only thing I would have done differently is leave earlier, like at least 3 years sooner. Why put up with it when they tell you to your face that you can be replaced? Well, that's just a slap in the face. Bro, after the first conversation like that, I'd have packed my bags and said goodbye for sure. Definitely goodbye. So what happened in the end? Her personal trainer, Branda. 2 months and he bailed. He disappeared. He became a ghost. So much for your replacement. Yeah, same thing. And Charles is sitting in Portland, drinking good coffee, writing code, watering his plants. Basically, he's living his life, maybe even living his best life. Yeah, maybe he's a real champ. Seriously, he's a chain-up. Guys, take note. Don't seek revenge. Just walk away. That hurts him more, trust me. When cheaters see that you're living your best life, that you're just a happy person without them, Well, I think they're not gonna feel too great inside. But what do you think, my dear viewer? Subscribe to my channel and leave your comments under this video. Be sure to leave a comment. And with that, I'll say goodbye. See you soon. Bye.